Hi everyone and welcome back to the multiverse of 100 plus data science project series. And in this video, we are going to making the CR7 extensive EDA and the analytics applications using Python and Streamlit. So let's have a look the demo application first. This is the demo applications built by using Python and Streamlit that you can see here. The applications, how it will look like. It have the introductions about the EUR Cristiano Ronaldo, the CR7, jersey number 7. And you can see you have the current team, Al Nasser right now, how and he is born, the height, the partner, the salary, children, all the things inside that applications. And also, if I go inside this basic exploration sections, we have one data set. And from the data set, we have the information regarding our data, and as well as we have the summary of the aesthetics or the category column as well. And we have the goals per competitions and which how many goal he actually do. So in the La Liga competitions, he do in 3-1 goals and club name is Real Madrid, right? And also you can see her goal per season in which season he do how many goals in the Real Madrid in the season of the 2020 2014 to 2050 he do 61 goals in the Real Madrid, and 2007 to 2008 he do the 42 goals in the Manchester United. And same thing, let's say goal per playing position, in which position he actually playing. Then we have goal per game minute. Then we have the goal per type. Okay, you can see goal per type. It should be the solo run, it should be the header, it should be the penalty, it should be the direct free kick. Okay, it should be counter attack. All of the things you can see here. And inside the opponent sections, you can see the favorite opponent, and the favorite opponent is now called Silbilia FC, and assist is nothing but the Karim Benzema, right? You can see Karim Benzema is the favorite assist in the top 10, and goal per Benu is nothing but in the home and the away. So this is how your applications, I mean our application look like. And in this tutorial, we trying to making these full applications from the scratch end to end. So let's try to making this out. Well, so for creating the applications for the CR7 extensive EDA and the analytics, we're going to use the dataset from the Kaggle. Let's call the Cristiano Ronaldo all club goals. And we have the data. You can see you have the data and it having several types of columns. Now you are going to using this dataset and try to exploring our CR7. Now let's go on the VS Code. Well, so we have our data file in the CSV format, as well as we have the pictures of the CR7 Cristiano Ronaldo, and all of us have some document.txt about the CR7. Then we have some icon that you're going to use it in our applications. Now what I can do, I am simply going to create here a new Python file here. So let's say app.py. Okay, so for creating here the applications, you are going to using here the Streamlit. Streamlit is nothing but a library, I mean Python library. Using that, you can creating some interactive web applications. So now I'm going to import it. Let's first import the Streamlit as st, and as well as I'm going to import here some of the library which is required for creating these projects. So let's import here the pandas as pd, because we are going to load in the data set from our directory, and you can see you have the data.csv file. You can see this our data having some row and having some column. Okay, so now what I can do, I'm simply going to import numpy as well. So let's say import numpy as np. Then I'm going to import plotly .express. So this is nothing but a data visualization library in Python, and using that you can do the data visualizations in a great manner. Okay, we are also using here the matplotlib as well. So let's use it. Let's say import matplotlib.pyplot as plt as well, right? And then you're going to import another visualization library called the cburn as sns, because this is a EDA types of projects, exploratory data analysis types of projects. So that's why I need to importing these three library as well, right? Then I'm going to importing here the IO. It's also needed input and output. Then what I can do is simply going to using here our style plt.style.use ggfloat. This kind of style we are going to using it in our visualization plot. Now what I can do, I am going to add here our page configurations. But before that, you also know that how can you run your Streamlit applications. Okay, so for that you have to go on here, and you can see you have the terminal. Click on new terminal, and our terminal is opening. And inside that, you need to type here streamlit run app.py. Streamlit run app.py. App.py is nothing but my file name, and hit enter. Until loading these applications, these Streamlit applications in your local host. I mean 127 like that. Okay. And you can see localhost 8501, it is loading these applications. Okay. You can see it loading the applications, and it's nothing right now because it's blank. And if I go on here, you can see it has some setting. You can click on run on shape. You can also give here the white mode, and you can change the theme as well. Cool. Now let's close it and try to go on here, and after that let's go on the full screen mode. Well, now what I can do, we can make it back. Then after that we can add in here one page config. Let's say st dot set page config, and inside that I can give in here my page title. So let's say you have the page title, so let's give here our title, and let's give here EUR Cristiano. Let's say you are, yeah, okay, Cristiano Ronaldo. Okay, Cristiano Ronaldo. Okay. Let's say extensive, or you can say the CR7 extensive EDA and analytics. Okay, let's say analytics. Okay, fine. So that's our page title, EUR Cristiano Ronaldo CR7. You can also give it here like that. Okay, CR7, because jersey number is 7, and extensive EDA and analytics. And recently Cristiano Ronaldo creating a YouTube channel as well. EUR Cristiano, you can also subscribe this channel as well. Now what I can do, I can giving here on layout. So let's say giving here on layout. So let's say layout equal to white mode. Okay, you can give it by default in your code. Otherwise you can go on the applications. If I save it and if I go in the applications, you can also give it from here in the setting mode. You can also give it here. Okay, if I go on here, I mean removing this one, then you can see just white, it changing this one. You can see EUR Cristiano Ronaldo CR7. This is the title. This is the title. It changes, right? So we set our page config right now. Now what I can do, we're simply going to adding here one sidebar as well that you'll see in the demo application. So let's say st.sidebar, and inside the sidebar, what I can do, we're simply going to giving here one title. So let's say st.title, and we can giving here one title. So let's say let's use the icon. So let's go on here, and we have some icon. Let's copy this icon. Okay, and then I'm going to pass it here. Let's say CR7 analytics. Okay, and analytics. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, we can also add this name. You are Cristiano. Okay, let's make it small. Cristiano. Okay, Cristiano. This is the your Cristiano, and let's cut it and paste it here, and let's as well make it inside one bracket. Cool. It's now look cool. So we have one sidebar, and we give here one title. So if I save it and go on the applications, and it's automatically run, and you can see inside the sidebar, you can see here EUR Cristiano CR7 analytics. Now we can add in here one picture. So that's our pictures. You're going to add it inside our sidebar. So what I can do, we're simply going to add it. So let's st.sidebar.image, and inside that we can giving here our image path. Let's say cr7.png, and after that we can giving here our use column. Okay, use column width. So let's say use column width equal to nothing but, let's make it true. Okay, then let's give it here and give it auto save mode, so that it automatically save. We don't need to save it again and again, and when I just go the application, it will automatically reload the application as well. Cool, right? Now what I can do now, we're simply going to add here some sections. So let's get here some sections. Sections. Okay, section is nothing but the thing that you're going to solve. It's nothing but the questions that you're going to solve. If I go inside my document.txt, and these are the questions, 13 questions that you're going to solve in our sidebar. So first we have the introductions, then we do the basic explorations, then goal par competitions, goal per season, goal per club, goal per playing positions, goal per game unit, goal per type, scrolling after goals, opponent, favorite opponent, assist, and as well as the goal per menu. Now, this is the question that you're going to solve. But from here, from our data, from our data. If you want to see this data in front of the data frame, what I can do, let's create here another file. Let's call app.pynb. Okay, this is nothing but my Jupyter notebook file. You can also create it in the Visual Studio Code as well. So let's import pandas as pd. Let's pandas as pd. Then I'm going to using here def equal to pd dot read. Okay, read underscore csv, and inside that I can giving here my path. It's called data.csv. Then I need to select the kernel. So let's select the kernel and Python environment and Python 3.8.5. Cool. And shift enter. I loaded this data set in my Jupyter notebook kernel, because this is the Jupyter notebook. You can see the icon as well. So let's say data.head, and then you can see your data. Just wait. Yeah, you can see the data. So it has the season, it has the competitions, the match day, date, venue, club, which club he's playing, then opponent club, and then it has the result, the playing positions, uh, I mean lower order, the middle order, whatever. Then you have the minute, at score, type, or the goal assist. Okay, so this is the column. This is the column. I mean, respect to the features of the data. Now, based on the features, what I can do, we're going to solving those problems. We're going to solving these questions as well. Now, first one is called the introductions. Okay. So what I can do first, I'm going to copy this on. Just copy this out, and I'm going to paste it inside a list. Okay, inside a list. So you have these sections that you're going to solving them. Now, what I can do, we're simply going to add it inside our sidebar. Add it inside our sidebar. So let's close all of them because it's not needed right now. Yeah, app.ipnb file is needed. Okay, cool. Now let's open this one here. Okay, fine. Now if I go to applications, you can see inside the section you're adding here some radio button as well. Radio button as well. So what I can do, we can add simply, let's say st.sidebar.radio. Okay, and inside this radio we can giving here the navigate to. So let's say navigate to in our sections. That's the sections. Okay, that's our section. Okay, now inside a section we need to give here one selections, right? So let's save it now, and if I go inside that, and you can see here we have the introductions, we have the basics explorations, then basic goal per competitions, goal per seasons, goal per club, and all of the things we have, right? Now what I can do now, now we can simply going to load our data, right? Well, so now what I can do is simply going to load our data set. So what I can do, let's creating here a functions. You can define a functions, otherwise you can also load it as well. So let's say df equal to pd dot read underscore csv. Then after that, you can giving here our path. So let's say data dot csv. Okay, so that's our data set. That how can you actually load the data set from here. You can also using here the function as well. So if you're using here the functions, so it's look like that simple. So let's say def load data. Then after that, you can simply going to add it inside it. You can add it inside it, and after that, you can simply go to return it. Same thing. Let's say return here the df. Okay. Now when you load the data, so you can load the data just like that. Let's say df equal to load underscore data. Same thing. If you're using functions or if you are using method, same thing. Now our data set is loaded. Now if I see that, just to wait, you can see the applications, just to wait applications, and you can see it's okay. Now if I select these introductions, if I select the introductions video button, there should be some changes. It should be give the introductions based on the Cristiano Ronaldo, right? So let's go on the full screen mode. Okay, now what I can do now, so if you select, if the user select, let's if the selection, if the selections is equal to introduction, let's introduction. Okay, introductions. Then what I can do is simply going to give some introductions regarding the Cristiano Ronaldo. So let's say giving here first title, let's say st.title. Then inside this title, let's giving here one icon. So let's take the icon from here. Let's take in this football icon, and after that I can give it here, and let's say CR7 extensive EDA and analytics, right? This is the title that you're going to add it here. Then you can add in here on subheader as well. So let's say subheader. Then we can using here the Cristiano Ronaldo. Let's say you are Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo. Okay, Ronaldo. That's all club goals. Let's say goals statistics. Statistics. Okay, statistics. Fine. Then what I can do is simply going to add here our statistics regarding our Cristiano Ronaldo, our player, right? So let's say st dot right, and inside that we can adding it here all of the things about the Cristiano Ronaldo. This is the thing that you're going to copy it from here, and I'm simply going to patch it here. Okay, and if I go on here just to wait, kidhar gaya kidhar idhar. Okay, so you can see here this is the CR7 extensive PDA and the analytics. You are Cristiano Ronaldo, all club the goal statistics, and he is a Portuguese professional footballer. The current team is right now Al Nasser, the forward, and born in distance and height, partner, the salary, the children, all of the things it have that regarding the Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, if the user selecting here the basics explorations, it will load the dataset and try to show it here, and also show you the unique value and all of the descriptive informations about our data. Okay, so now what I can do is simply going to go on here. So now what I can do is simply going to adding here the another selection that's called the basics explorations. So we can copy this out. So if the selection is, let's say we can adding here the if the selections is equal to the basic explorations, then what I can do is simply going to do the explorations regarding our data set. So let's adding here on title. Let's say add one title. Let's say this is the basic explorations. So basic explorations, like this way, and you can adding here one icon as well. So let's adding here this icon, and I'm simply going to paste it here. Then after that I can adding here on subheader as well. Okay, let's say let's make it title should be the subheader because it's not needed. So you can adding here on subheader. Now inside there what I can do is simply going to write it. Let's say st.write. So inside that what I can do is simply going to give our data frame. But if you wanted to give one data frame inside your write method, it not work. It not work. It's just showing is just like a write method. If you want to show the data frame using the Streamlit library, you can using here a method called st.dataframe. And inside that you can giving here df.head. Then it can show you the data frame. If I go on here and if I select the basics exploration, then you can see here our data set is loaded. Our data set is loaded. Now you can adding here one title just using this write method. So what I can do, let's give it here, three hashtag, and giving here the snapshot. That's a data snapshot. Cool. Now you can see here it is loaded, and then you can see data snapshot in a bold format, right? Now what I can do is simply going to add in here another thing that's called the data informations. Let's say st.write, and you can adding here one thing, let's say data info, right? So when actually using here this IPMD file, let's go on here and let's say data.info, right? It should be data, not data, it should be the df.info. Then okay, name df is not defined, I think I need to run it again. Okay, then you can see our data set is loaded. Also you can see the information regarding the data set. I mean how many null values or the data types about that. See, this is the informations. Now it's not a data frame, it's not a data frame. If I try to put it inside st.write, let's say df.info, then you can see what happened. So you can see it said none. It said none. But why? It said none. Why? Because if I go inside this add.py, this is nothing but a underscore dot frame dot data frame. It's give me one class of the data frame. So it's better we can add it inside the data frame. So let's see as well. So let's say data frame and go on here. Then you can see empty. It's a empty. Why? See why? Why we can't show it this data.info in our applications? Why? Because this is nothing but a panda score dot frame the data frame. It's always a class, and as well as it give me some string. It's give me some string, buffer string, buffer strings. That's mean we need to convert it using the input output method. Input output method. So what I can do, we can using here io dot string io. Then this is our buffer. So let's say buffer. Then after that, what I can do, we can add it here. Let's say df dot info, and inside that we can add it here. Let's say buff equal to buffer. Okay, so that's our informations. Now what I can do, we can simply going to using it here a variable called as equal to buffer. Let's say buffer dot get value. Okay, that's called the get value. Now we can add it this buffer inside our text. So let's say text, and then inside it I can pass here my s. Pass here my s. Now, oh, not system error. If I go on here, now you can see here, this is the textual data. Our information in our data, you can see that. Okay, you can see that. This is how it look like. Right? Now what I can do now, we're simply going to adding here another column that's called the unique values in each column. Unique value. How many value it have? We can add it. So what I can do now, we can add in here, let's say st.write. Then inside that we can add in here, let's say same 3 hashtag. Then let's say unique value in each column. You can add it inside your resume as well, because this is a complete EDA types of projects, exploratory data analysis types of projects. So what I can do, we can add in here a data frame. Let's say st.data frame, because this is a data frame as well. And inside this data frame, what I have, we have one data frame, and as well as we have one column which one having the unique value count. So what I can do, we can add it from our data frame. Let's say pd.data frame. So pd.data frame, then we can using here the df.apply, and inside that we can using here the lambda method. So let's say lambda method, and we have the columns. We have all of the columns. So let's taking length of the columns. So let's say call dot unique. Okay, unique. I mean, we're taking all of the columns. If I go on here, you can see it having those columns, seasons, competitions, match day. We can get in here all of the unique column from here. Okay, and after that, what I can do, after that, we can give in here on columns name. So that's the columns is equal to we can give in here one columns name. So let's give in here a column name. Which column you can give? Let's say unique value count. So let's say unique values count, like that. Okay, we can add it here. Okay, fine. Now we can add it. We can add another things. Let's go on here first. Check that. Yeah, you can see here unique value in the each of the column. It having, you can see 21 unique value. In the competition, it have the 17. In max day, it had the 52. In the date, it have 468. In the venue, it have the 2 unique columns. Unique column in each of the columns. Unique value in each of the column. I mean, how many unique value having in the each of the column? If I go on the seasons, it having some season. Let's say it's coming from 2020, 2002. Sorry, 2002. Then after right now he is flying in the Al Nasser club, right? So now what I can do, we can add here another column as well. I mean another EDA part. So let's add in here another one. Let's say summary. Okay, summary. Statistics for categorical column as well. Categorical column. Okay, because it having some categorical column as well, because I know it all both of them column. I mean, other column is nothing but the categorical column, because this is, you can see the data type is nothing but the objects. It's nothing but a string. So what I can do, we can do one summary of that. So how can you do the summary? we can using here the scribe method. So for that, you can using here the data frame, because how you actually return here a df dot scribe. If I go on here and if I using here df dot scribe, then you can see just what, and you can see it gave me one data frame, so we need to add it inside the data frame as well. So let's say df dot describe, and inside that we can giving here our include, and we have all the column is nothing but the objects, so you can include the objects because we don't have any integer value as well. So you can do the transformations, transport this matrix. Okay, it's up to you. Save it, and if I go on here and you can see here summary of the statics for the categorical column, you can see here you can also change it based on the ascending and the descending order, right? You can see you can select, you can select, you can select, you can do anything else here. Okay, you can see here select. Okay, data is automatically changes. Okay, so that's about our basics explorations about the data. Now we are going to go on the second question, that's called the goal par competitions. Goal par competitions. So for that, you're going to do one plotting. We can do one histogram plot. So let's go on here first. Now we can say that we can copy this ones, goal par competitions. We can copy these ones, and then what I can do, we can take another elif method. I mean, not method actually, elif condition. Let's see if the selections is equal to not triple equal to goal par competitions. Then you can add in here one subheader. Let's add here one subheader, and after that you can add it here goal par competitions, and let's add here one icon as well. So yeah, अच्छा है. So let's add it here, right? Then what I can do, we can simply going to adding here one histogram. Okay, so let's add it here. Let's say st dot data frame, and after that we can add it here. Let's say pd dot data frame. Okay, sorry, because you don't need to show the data frame as well, because this is the goal par competitions. We can add here the histogram. So why should we add here data frame? Mistake. So let's add here px dot histogram. So what is the px actually? Px is nothing but the plotly, this plotly, right? So now we can add here the histogram. Thoda mistake ho gaya yahan par. Okay, let's add here the df. Now let's give here the x. So in the x-axis, it should be the competitions. If I go inside that, you can see here you have the column called the competitions. So we're going to calculate them goals per competitions. So you can calculate it based on the competitions, and in the y-axis, we can uh, giving here the df and full df. Not it don't have any y-axis. Y-axis have, but in the y-axis column we can show it based on the club, because if I go on the data, then you can see it has the club. Based on the club, we can giving here the competitions, right? So what I can do, we can giving here, let's say color, and then giving here color. So let's giving here the color on club. Then after that, we can adding here on title. So it's nothing but the goal par competitions. Okay, it should be the goal par competition, right? Then after that, what I can do, we can give in here a comma. Then we can give in the height of that. Let's give in height is equal to, let's say 500. Then we can get in here the hover name. So hover data and as well as the hover name. So let's first giving here the hover name. So hover underscore name is equal to let's give it here the club. Based on the club, we're going to simply going to check it, the goal per competitions. Okay. So inside that, we can giving here two things. One is competitions and another is nothing but the club. Okay, it's nothing but the club, and another is nothing but the competition. This one, so I'm going to copy this and I'm going to pass it here. Okay, so that's already now. We can simply going to plot it. So we can adding here st dot plot chart, plotly chart, and inside that I can giving here my figure, and after that you can adding here let's give it a figure. So our figure is ready now. We can adding here, let's st dot right, and inside that we can also giving here our competition data frame as well. So that's why first time actually creating here the data frame as well. So now into creating this, let's say df dot data frame, and inside that I can giving here df dot competitions dot value count. Okay, let's say value counts. Okay, so that you can see the value comes in the from of the data frame. Okay, first time अच्छा किया था लेकिन थोड़ा mistake हो गया यहाँ पर. Okay, so what I can do now, we can giving here the thing, let's call competitions goal counts. Okay, C को capital देना पड़ेगा. Okay, let's save it now and go on here, and you can see here goal per competitions. Now you can see that's our data frame. Sorry, that's our data frame. You can see here in the from the data frame, and it's in the from of the histogram. If I see the most goal is go on the Real Madrid, and competition name is nothing but the La Liga, and club is nothing but the Real Madrid. Then we have the Real Madrid 105. Okay, UEFA Championship League. Then Series A, we have the Juventus FC Series A, and count is nothing but 81 goals. Quite good, quite good. And Manchester United, it's not the competition name is called the Premier League. Count is 103. I think he's playing the Real Madrid so long time, and competition is nothing but called the La Liga. So it's not La Liga, La Liga. Okay, and count is 311. Okay, then you can Real Madrid and Copa del Rey count is 22. Yeah. So that's about the goal per competitions. And you can see that in the Real Madrid, he do 311 goals. Okay. Just for the competition's name is La Liga. Right. And UEFA Championship League, he also do fine 105 in the Real Madrid as well. Okay. Now that's gone. That's gone. I mean, this part is gone now, right now. Now you can go on the goal per seasons. Goal per season, right? So let's go on here and try to now add another thing. Let's call df selections equal to goal per seasons. सीजन में कितना गोल किया है CR7 ने. Okay, fine. Okay, so you can also using here the histogram as well. You can also plot the histogram as well. So what I can do, we can copy this out. And instead of that, we can removing this, and instead of that we can copy this out goal per seasons, and this is the goal per season, and it also change the icon. So let's copy this out, and I'm going to paste it here. In the histogram we have the season. If I see in that, you can see here we have app.py. Season is 710. There's the seasons, and inside the season we can give it here x equal to season, and we can simply going to plot it based on the club, and this is the goal per season. And okay, it's not this one. Goal per season, goal per season, goal per season, fine. Then inside that we can do the same thing. We can do the same thing. If I go on here applications, and inside it you can see here it having some seasons, and from the 2009 to 2018 he play in the Real Madrid. You can see Real Madrid. Okay, Real Madrid. In 2011, he do 60 goals, and in 2014 he actually do 61 goals when he was in Real Madrid. Right. Then we have the Manchester United as well, and he do the 42 goals in 2007 to 2008. Right. And if I go the last ones, you can say Juventus. He also play in the Juventus FC, and count is 36 and 37 as well. Based on the club, you're going to simply going to plotting it here, right? You can also increase it. You can see how it will look like cool. You can also zoom it. You can pan it. Okay, you can box select. You can lasso select. You can zoom in or zoom out. You can also auto scale it. Okay, you can do everything else here, right? In Streamlit. Okay, you can see here we have we complete the introductions or basic explorations, then you have the goal per competitions, then you have the goal per seasons. Now the next one is called the goal per club. Okay, goal per club. Let's try to do it. So what I can do, we're simply going to let's say using the elif equal to selections is equal to let's say equal to this called the goal per club. Let's copy this out, and I'm simply going to paste it here, goal per club. And inside that, what I can do, we're simply going to add here two things based on the seasons and based on the competitions. So what I can do, you can adding here one subheader. Let's adding here one subheader. So subheader, and inside that we can add it on subheader. Let's call goal per club. Okay, इसको remove करना पड़ेगा, goal per club, and we can adding here one icon as well. So let's copy this one, and I can go on here and I can paste it here. Okay, so goal per club, and then what I can do is simply going to adding here our two things. One is the competitions, and another one is called the season. So what I can do, you can simply going to copy this out. I can simply going to copy this out, and you can simply paste it here, right? So px.histogram, we can adding here the x is nothing but the club. So let's say club, and color we can giving here the season, and the hover name should be the season, and inside that it having the three things. One is the competitions, another is the club, and as well as the seasons. So let's giving here season. Okay, then this is the goal per club season. Okay, it's called goal per club season. Okay, not competition, it goal per club season. Okay, so you have the histogram, we give here the df, and inside the x we giving the club based on the club because it's goal per club. Then color we give it here the seasons, and title giving here goal per club seasons. Then height 500 gold, hover name let's give it the seasons, and hover data let's say give it the competition season as well as club. Now I'm simply going to copy this out, and I'm going to add it here figure number one, and then after that I can add it here, let's say figure number two, right? Figure number two. Then inside this club, what I can do, I can giving here the competitions. So I can copy these competitions, and instead of the season we can giving here the competitions, and this is the gold player club competitions, and this is as well as the competitions, and that's our figure number two. Now we're simply going to add here our floated chart as well. So let's add it. Let's st dot floated chart, and inside it we give here figure number one and as well as the figure number two. Let's st dot floated chart, and inside that we can giving here figure number two. Cool. Right now if I go on the applications, and you can see here in the seasons, goal per seasons and the goal per competitions, and inside this you can see competition league is lala league. I mean it's la liga, sorry, not lala league, la liga. So every time I have to pronounce this one name I say la liga, but it's la liga. Okay, okay, then you have the premier league, then the series A, then UEFA champions league, Real Madrid. uh, okay, you can see here the Real Madrid count the goal per seasons. So he played the Sporting CP, the Manchester United, the Real Madrid, Juventus FC, as well as the Al Nassr FC. Okay, you can see here, you can see here, you can see here, you can see here. Okay, actually I am a great fan of the cricket. Sometime I actually watching the football as well. Okay, so La Liga, then Premier League as well. Okay, so this is how it look like a goal per club seasons. Okay, okay. Now we can simply going to move to the next topic, that's called goal per playing positions. Okay, goal per playing positions. So let's try to implement this one. Okay, so now let's implement here the goal per positions, per playing positions. So let's copy this out. And I'm going to copy this out, and let's add here another conditions. So let's say if selections is equal to the goal per player position, right? So you can keep some space on that. Now what you can do now, we add here one subheader. Let's say add here the subheader. Okay, then after that I can pass here the goal per playing positions, and let's give here one icon as well. Let's giving here the ball icon, football icon. Well, now what I can do, we can simply go into create here one histogram, the same histogram. So we can copy this out, and after that we can simply go into changing this one. If I go inside my app.py file, and you have the playing positions. Okay, you can see playing positions. So you can copy this out from here, and after that, what I can do, we can giving here x equal to player playing positions. Then after that, we can also actually yeah, actually remove this ones. We can adding it here. Just wait, adding this one, playing positions, then competitions, season, and as well as club. We can all see all of the things. So we can copy this out and going to paste it here. Now inside this hover name, we can making it based on the club, because in club player actually give the positions. Okay, so we actually give here the hover name is equal to club, and inside the hover data we giving here the playing positions, the competition, season, as well as the club. Now what I can do is simply going to add here our floating chart. So what I can do now, so we can add it. So let's say st dot floating chart, and inside that I can giving here my figure. Okay, so you can see we gave here the figure and px equal to histogram, and inside this we passing here our df and playing positions inside my x, and color is nothing but should be the club, based on the club. Then title is nothing but goal per playing positions, and height is 500. Hover name is based on the club, and as well as inside the hover data we have the playing positions, competition, season, as well as the club. Now what I can do now, so we simply going to go on the applications. So here are our applications, and inside these applications, let's try to reload it, and I think so it will working fine. So goal per playing positions, and now you can see loading fine, and you can see goal per playing positions based on the club, all of the club, it having 1 2 3 4 5 clubs, and you can see here. Okay, it also having the positions, playing positions, middle order, the left order, right order, okay, center, whatever, right? And you can see in the playing position is cf, its count is nothing but 108 in the Real Madrid, and as well as here the Real Madrid, and inside the Juventus FC playing position is lw, and count is nothing but 39. And you can see same thing Manchester United, and playing position is rw, and count is nothing but 70. I mean 70 goal he actually do on the Manchester United, and the playing position is RW. Right? Cool. So our playing goal per playing position is also done. Now we can go on goals per game minute. Right? We can go on here. So now let's try to do that. Okay, so let's go on here. So if I see that we have some match day, we have the date, and as well as we have the minute, right? You can see we have the minute. So now let's go on the app.py. Now what I can do, you can do now create here the next one. So let's say selections is equal to nothing but which one, goal per game minute, right? Let's copy this out, and I'm going to pass it here. So if it is goal per game minute, so then what I can do, we add here the same thing, we add here one subheader, and inside that we can give here one icon as well. So let's copy this icon, and I'm gonna copy that, and let's give it here goal per game minute. Right now we need to extract the minute from our data frame. That's the same, that's the thing. I mean the goal per club or a goal per playing position are mostly same, just changing here your column name. But here you need to extracting your minute, you need to extract your minute. So our minute is available inside our data frame, inside this minute section. So what I can do, we simply going to extract it, so let's extract it. So we have the minute. Okay, we have the minute. Okay, minute. Then we can extract it from the minutes. Let's taking it, let's say minute, oh, minute. Then after that we can simply going to extract it. Let's say str dot extract, and we're simply going to extracting here the date. Sorry, minute, not date actually. So we can extract it. So let's say we can using here this technique d plus. Then after that we can simply going to expands equal to true. Okay, should be the expand equal to true. That's it. uh Expand equal to false, it not should be true, false. And after that is simply going to fill now with the 0. and making this type should be the integer. See why. First, we are going to go inside our minute. This minute, it having you see 710, 106, 90. Okay, you can see 70 minute. Okay, so what I can do is simply going to take in the minute and extract the minute from here. Okay, now we also going to fill the missing value with the 0 minute, because there are some missing value as well inside my minute column. If I try to check in this one, let's say df of minute, then we can check that is null dot sum. Okay, then you can see don't have an actually null value right now, but if they are having the null value, we're simply going to fill with the 0 and try to convert this type into the integer. Now why integer? If I checking this one, the minute is nothing but one objects. If you wanted to show it, we need to also convert them into the integers. So that's why I need to convert it, right? Now we got here our minute. Now we need to assign here some bins. We need to assign here some bins. Bins is starting from nothing but 0 to 0 to 15, just like that. If I go inside this again add.py, then you can see here in our bins, in our minute bins, we can see just to white. Uh, we can divide this minute into 10 to 15, 15 to 13, 13 to 45, 45 to 16, 60 to 75, 90 to 105, and 105 to 120 minute. We can divide them. Okay, we can divide them because it's nothing but you can see 710, 106, 90, 17. It's nothing but a minute. Okay, I think so. Okay, that's not a minute. Uh, Here you go. You can see 34, 9 plus 5. You can see 9 plus 5. See, so that's why we add here one thing, add here this thing d plus. That's mean when it getting here the plus, it will simply going to, it is simply going to add it inside our minute. That's why you do it here. You can see d and expand equal to false because we don't need to expand it. And if there any null value, we're simply going to fill it with a 0, and we're simply going to convert it into the integer in. Now see what about the beans. If I go inside the dataset again, then you can see just to write, you can see one thing, in here we can divide them into the some kind of bins so that we can show it in our histogram, that's why we're simply going to convert, you need actually take it out. Let's say 0, then we have the 15, then 13, let's say 45, then 16, then we have the 75, 15 difference of the 15, then 90, then 105, then as well as the 120. Okay, so you can divide them into the some kind of bins. Now we can add it inside our labels. So let's say labels is equal to we can simply go into give here the labels. So let's give it here. So it's nothing but 0 to 15. Then what do you have? We have the 15 to 15 to 13, 50 50, gap is 50. Then we have the 30 to 45, so that we can show it in the histogram. Then 45 to the 60. Okay, 50 50 difference. Then we have the 60 to 75, and then we have the 75 to the 90. If it is a half time or no goals, so it will give you some extra minute. So 90 to 50. If again no goal is happening, so it will give you extra 50 minute, then penalty should be taken out, right? So let's say 105, I mean a try-baker can be happening here. So that's why simply going to convert them into the one kind of beans of the number. Now we can simply going to create the beans for the minutes as well, because we have the simple minute. Now we can convert them into the beans. So let's try to convert them. So let's say this is called the minute bin. So minut minute, and we have the beans. Then after that, what I can do is simply going to cart it. Let's say pd.cart, and we can cart it based on my minute. Okay, minute, and then we can give it our bins. So let's say bins equal to bins. Then after that, we can give it the levels equal to levels, and after that we have the right equal to false. Cool. Now our minute bin is ready. Now we can simply going to plot it. So let's say px dot histogram, and inside this histogram, so what I can do is simply going to passing here our df, and x is nothing but our minute bin. So minute dot bin actually bin, so it's called minute bin. Then after that we can giving here one title. So title is equal to nothing but the same thing, is goal per game minute, goal per game minute. Then after that we can giving here the color. So let's say giving the color is based on the club. Okay, let's give it here club. Then we have giving the height. So height equal to 500. See again, one thing again, just to avoid, I'm simply going to plot it. So st dot plotly chart. Then we can giving here our figure. See one thing here. It should be the figure. So in this case, we're simply going to add here one subheader, and after that we're simply going to starting all of the minute, because it having some plus sign as well, 90 plus 5. We're simply going to convert them and try to plot it in histogram manner. And for that we need to creating here some kind of beans. I mean beans or labels of the timestamp, and we're simply going to divide them with the 15 difference of the 15 and creating one simple beans. And after that we're simply going to concatenate it, I mean cut it in our minute. And after that we're simply going to cut it based on the beans. Now we're simply going to pass this bean size inside my histogram, so that I can simply going to plot it out. Now if I go in the applications, then you can see goals per game minute. You can see just to white, you can see here goal per game minute is nothing but showing up. Okay, you can see 1 to 15 is showing up, but why not all? Okay, bin equal to bins and level equal to levels, right equal to false. But why not in showing up? I think I need to giving her the same thing. Any problem? Peter card, TF of minute, pins, and histogram. We're simply going to giving her the minute bin. Let's check it out here. Is there any problem? String dot extracting here our date. Okay, we need to giving here one thing. That's why date is not extracted. We're giving here based on the date, and when it is getting here the plus sign, then it will automatically taking this one. Now let's check this out. Let's try to rerun it. Yeah, now it's okay, fine. Okay, just one problem, it will happening here. Okay, so you can see here based on the time, you can see here 30 to 45 and 90 to 105, 75 to 90, and you can see how it will look like. And inside this you can see Juventus FC, how in the time is nothing but 75 to 90 minutes, he will do 20 goals. And how in the time is nothing but 75 to 90 minutes, in Real Madrid he do 78 goals. God. Then in the Juventus FC, 45 to 60 minutes, he goal 20 and 21 goals. And now in the last one, this is the crucial one, he do 2 goals in the Real Madrid. What a player. And same thing here. And you can see Manchester United in the first 30 to 45, it will do at most 23 goals. In first 0 to 50 minutes, he do the 24 goals in the Manchester United. Then as well as the Real Madrid, he do 53 goals. Quite good. And in the Juventus FC, he do 7 goals. Cool. This is how you can do the data analysis, right? Now let's go on the next one. Let's call goal per type. Okay, let's go on here. Now let's say if selection is equal to it should be the goal per, I hope so, goal per, where is it? It should be the goal per type, right? Now let's type to paste it here, goal per type. Okay, now what I can do, we're simply going to add the subheader, st dot subheader. Then we're simply going to add it. Then we can simply going to copy one here, the icon, and I'm going to paste it here, right? Now our subheader is ready. Now I simply going to add here one histogram based on the type. So we can simply going to copy this out, and I can simply going to paste it here. Okay, just changing here to the type, goal type. So if I go on here, we have also type as well. You can see type, solo run, header, the right headed shot, whatever shot, right? Then title should be the goal per type, and we're simply going to paste it here. And color should be club and height is 500. Is okay, fine. Now let's go on here the application again and let's try to rerun it. Okay, and you can see based on the type, right footed shot is best 178 in the Real Madrid. In the Juventus, he drew 24 goals using this right footed shot. And long distance kick, oh, 7 goal in the Real Madrid. I think Ronaldo is just making for the Real Madrid. I think so. And here Manchester United 48 goals and deflect shot. I think it's not showing up here. And counter attack goal. Oh, 2 goal in the counter attack in the Juventus FC. So in the counter attack, same things. The Real Madrid as well. You can also make it full, make it bigger as well. And the penalty 21 goals, 79 and 29. Okay. In 2016, I see how the Ronaldo is injured. The Portugal also own here the uh, actually UEFA Champion Leagues. I hope so. Okay. Mm, okay, that's really good. Now what I can do now? We're simply going to adding here one thing. Let's say selection is equal to. Let's try to adding here another one. Scroll line after goals. Let's try to add it here. So let's try to copy this and paste it here and adding here one subheader. So let's say subheader, and I am simply going to add here the subheader, and let's to copy this out and going to copy this out, and I'm going to paste it here. Okay. Now we're simply going to add here one score line after goal. So what I can do is simply going to add here the top 20 score line. So let's try to get it from the score line. So let's say def of the add a score because it had the add a score as well. If I go on here, you can see add a score. So it having some minute as well. You can see 301.02 seconds. Okay, so we're simply going to getting it out and try to do the below counts. Let's try to taking the below counts. Okay, below counts, and after that we're simply going to taking the and largest. Okay, and largest taking the top 20. You can also take the top 100 or top 10, whatever you can take, and we're simply going to get in the index of that. So that's nothing but the top 20 index. So let's say top 20 score. So now we have the top 20 score, and then what I can do is simply going to taking it from our data frame. I mean filter it inside our data frame. So simply going to go our data frame, and then inside our data frame we have the add score, and inside that we're simply going to use the ease-in. If it is ease-in the top 20 score, then you're simply going to taking it out and simply going to creating here on data frame for that. So let's say top 20. Okay, now we have the top 20. Now we're simply going to add two subplot. So for creating subplot, we have the figure and as well as the axis. Then we can using here the plt dot subplots, and inside that we can simply go into giving here my figure size. Let's say give it the figure size, and then after that you can using here 15 comma sim. There's nothing but the size of that. So in here we actually using here the px, I mean the plotly. Right now we're simply going to adding here the matplotlib as well. Now we can using here the SNS as well. So let's say SNS dot count plot, because we need to counting that how many scores should be happening here. So that's why we need to using the count plot, and inside the x-axis we can adding here the add score, and inside the data we can simply going to giving here our data frame. Let's say data equal to df of top 20. Okay, that's our top 20 data. Now we can giving here the order. So let's say order equal to top 20 score. Then after that, you can giving here our x is equal to x. Okay, it should be the top 20 scores. Okay, top 20 scores. Fine. Now our count plot is ready. Now we can add it to our axis. So let's say axis dot set title, and as well as we need to add it inside our application. Let's say pie plot, and inside that I can giving him my figure. Now inside a title, and to giving here one title. So let's say top 20 score sheet after scoring. Okay, scoring गलत हो गया क्या? Score. Okay, now let's giving here the font size. Font size is equal to, let's say, give it a 20. Now let's go on the applications again and go on the scroll line after goals and running that. And now you can see in the 1 minute the scroll line is writing now it's more up to 100 of the things. Okay, the plot you can see here. And after the 2 minute you can see here the goal is nothing but right after, that's like the, I hope so, 70 up. The same thing you can see here, top 20 score actually score sheet after the scoring, right? Okay, now let's taking the best opponent. Okay, let's taking the best opponent. So let's taking out, let's say if selections is equal to what we like that, it should be the opponent, right? Opponents, just three is left. Okay, opponents. Okay, now we're simply going to adding here one simple subheader as well. Okay, every time we need to adding here the subheader, and then we need to adding here one icon as well, versus. Okay, now let's taking here the best opponent for the Cristiano Ronaldo. So what you can do, you can simply adding here an axis, and you can using here plt dot subplots, and inside that I can giving here my fixed size. It's not gig size, fixed size, and inside the fixer, let's give it the same thing. Let's go 15,7. Let's try to making it bigger. 13, comma, let's say 10. Then let's try to do the count plot. Let's sns dot count plot, and inside the count plot we need to giving here the x, and x is nothing but our opponent. That's our opponent. If I go here in the data set, and you can see here opponent as well, okay, without s. Then in our data we simply going to giving here our data frame, and order, let's give it here based on my opponent. It should be the opponent dot value counts, value counts based on the value counts, and taking the index of that, and after that you can giving here our axis, right? So our count plot is ready. Now we can simply go to adding here on title. So let's set title. So we can giving here goal, goal per opponent, and then we can giving here one font size equal, let's give it a 20. Then after that we're simply going to adding here plt dot xtick. You can giving here xtick as well. So let's say giving the rotation, let's giving the rotation equal to 90. Then we're simply going to add it in our application. Let's say pie plot is equal to figure. Okay, that's ready. Now let's save it and go on here, and let's try to rerun it. And in error, opponents is error, 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 error. It should be the opponent, not as. Okay, and always rerun. And now let's checking it over here. Okay, now you can see how the opponent look like. Is there any problem? Okay, I think so. Any problem in our data? Data equal to df, and order equal to df of opponent dot value counts, and taking the index of that, and axis equal to axis, and we add here on title, subplot, figure size, all the things are okay, but why it's greasing like that? Okay, I think I gave you the rotation slide, that's why. Let's try to remove it. Let's go on the opponent. I think now it should be okay. Yeah, now it should be okay. Goal per opponent. So that's why if I go the rotations, still showing up goal per opponent, but it has a problem on that. uh, Figured such as the axial component and data equal to df, all the things are same, but I think you need to making it the top 20 as well. You can also making this like this way and taking the value count. You can also do like that. You can also getting in the top uh, top 10 opponent. You can also taking this out from here. um okay, it's your work to do that. Okay, value counts index, all is okay, fine, but why it is happening if I give the rotations? Okay, let's remove it, and you can try this out with the top 10 or top 20 opponent. Let's try to token favorite opponent as well. Let's say if selections is equal to let's taking here the favorite opponent, right? Let's taking it out, favorite opponent, and then what I can do, you can adding here a subheader. Then after that, you can simply add it, and then we're simply going to copy this one, favorite opponent, right? Okay, fine. Now let's copy the same thing, but having some difference on that. Okay, fine. So you have the axis subplot. Let's give it 15,7. It should be the small. And then we're simply going to taking the value count, taking the value count of the 15. Same thing, the opponent and the favorite opponent. That's mean it's all of the opponent, and it's nothing but the top 15 or top 20 opponent, like that. Okay. So let's try to creating here one variable called favorite opponent. Okay, opponents df. Oh, anything wrong? Yeah, df is equal to, let's taking it from the opponent. So let's say opponents. Okay, opponent, and from that we're simply going to do the value counts. So let's say value underscore counts. Okay, and after that we're simply going to taking the count from our actual df. So let's taking it out. So let's say opponent, and then we're simply going to taking the value count, and if it is greater than 15, then we're simply going to showing this out. So let's try to making it out value counts. Okay, then we're simply going to showing this favorite one, right? So we can simply going to add it here, order equal to df opponent dot value count, and we're simply going to remove it, and we're simply going to its order, right? Order is okay. Order we need to give it based on my favorite opponent dot index. So we can remove this out, and we can giving here the index of that, because it's itself a data frame. Now in our data, just need to do some changes in our data. So we're simply going to giving here our data index. So we can give it here, let's say df of opponent. So let's say opponent, and then we're simply going to save it is na. Okay, is in, sorry, not is na, is in, and inside that is simply going to give it here our favorite opponent. Okay, favorite opponent df dot index. Same thing, just like that. If we see on here, we're simply going to add in here top 10, and we're taking the and largest. This is another technique to taking these ones, and then we're simply going to add here our count plot as well, and it should be the favorite opponent. Okay, we can copy this out, and we can pass it here. Now let's save it and go on here. It's close and favorite opponent. Yeah, now you can see I call it's that nothing but the top high, and the number is greater than 50. We simply going to get in the top 15 opponent on that. I mean, high, and the counter is greater than 15. It's just taking this ones. And you can also do the same technique inside your opponent as well, just showing up here 20 things, just and largest. You can apply on that. If I go on here inside the scroll line, the same thing you can do on that. So you can just copy this out, and you can add it inside the subplot. So before that, just pass it here. So it should be the top 20 opponent. So let's say opponent. Okay, opponent. So just taking it inside our that's passed here, just taking it inside our opponent, and then taking the top 20 opponent and top 20 df, and it should be the opponent, and inside that, inside our data. So what you can do is simply going to pass it here, the same thing, you can see same thing. We can adding here top 10, and inside the top 20 score we can simply going to using here our okay, it should be the top 20. This top 20 should be top 20 here. In the data we're simply going to give in here the top 20 opponent. Okay, so you're simply going to remove it. uh, Here you go, and then we're simply going to patch it here. Okay, you can see here opponent. Just save it and see any error or not. Okay, let's try to rerun it, and then hope so it will work. Okay, you can see top uh, 20 actually opponent. Okay, CLBFC, this is Madrid. Okay, FC Barcelona. Okay, see, this thing and this thing are mostly same. This thing and this thing are mostly same. Okay, you can see it's nothing but the another way to do that. Opponent and the favorite opponent. Okay, favorite means it is greater than 15. It's greater than 15. If the goal count is greater than 15, we're simply going to taking these ones. Taking these ones. Okay, in the opponent is just showing up here. It's just showing up here top 20 opponent. Okay, it can be greater than 10 or greater than 5 as well. Right? You can see here. Okay, now what I can do now is simply going to adding here the another one. That's elif selections is equal to it should be our assist. Okay, let's try to take it here, assist. Now what I can do is simply going to add here the subheader. So let's say st dot subheader. Okay, and inside that we're simply going to give it the assist, and then we're simply going to copy this out, and we're going to copy this sign and add it here. So we're simply going to show the top 10 assist. So simply, so let's say top 10 assist is equal to df of assist. Okay, it should be the assists or the goal assist, whatever. Let's go on here and see that. Okay, it should be the goal assist. Let's copy this out, and I am simply going to taking here the top 10. So let's try to do the below counts, and after that we're simply going to taking the n largest. Okay, it should be the n largest of top 10, and we're simply going to take in the index of that. Now let's searching the index inside our data frame. So what I can do is simply going to search it on that. Let's say df of goal assist. Okay, from the goal assist we can simply going to searching is in, let's say is in, and after that we can simply going to pass it here our variable top 10 assist. Okay, so that's our df of top 10. So df of top 10. Okay, it should be the df of top 10. Now we're simply going to copy this out, or you can write it down. Let's try to write it down. Okay, so let's say figure and the axis equal to plt dot subplots is equal to fixed size of let's say 15,7, and inside that we're simply going to show the count plot. Let's say sns dot count plot, and inside that we can simply going to give here the x of goal assist, and inside our data we're simply going to give it here df of top 10. Okay, then order should be the top 10 assist. So top 10 assist, then after that we have the axis equal to axis, then we can adding here one title. So let's say x dot set title. Okay, set title. Okay, then inside that you can give it here, let's say top 10 assist. Okay, okay, assist, and then we have the font size is equal to 20. Right, now let's try to use it. Let's say st dot pyplot is equal to our figure. Okay, now let's save it and go on here and go on the assist tab and try to checking this one. And you can see top 10 assist is nothing but Karim Benzema, okay, Majud Uzil, Marcelo, Angel Di Maria, okay, Luka Modric, the Croatian player, I think so. Okay, so that's the top 10 assist by the Cristiano Ronaldo. Okay, now the last one is called Gor Par Benu. This is the last one. Then we're simply going to complete this tutorial. Now let's say elif selection is equal to goal par menu. Then we can adding here on subheader. Then we're simply going to paste it. We're simply going to go on the icon and we can copy this out and we can paste it here. Now this is the last one. What you can do is simply going to creating here the figure and the axis equal to plt dot subplots. Okay, and subplot, and inside that we can giving here the figure size is equal to nothing but 15,7, and then we can simply going to do the count plot. We can copy the count plot from here, and inside that we can give it here the menu. Let's see, should be the menu. Oh, okay, and inside the data frame we pass the data frame, and in the order we need to taking it from our order. It's order, not order actually, sorry, menu. And then we're simply going to do the count plot. So value counts, okay, dot index, okay, index, and then it should be the goal per menu. The goal per menu. Okay, should the menu. Okay, let's save it and go on here, and let's go on the goal per menu and let's see. Okay, it's home. In the home here do up to 400 goals, and in the menu, I mean away from the country, it will do just like the up to 300 goals, right? The CR7. Okay, let's see from the first, and you can closing this out as well. You can close it, you can open it, you can go on, you can go on setting, you can also, okay, run on save is not on, that's why it's automatically showing here the rerun. Okay, you are Cristiano Ronaldo, all clubs goal statistics, then basic explorations about the data set. You can see the data set, then you have the data info, then unique value in each column, then summary statistics for the categorical columns. Okay, La Liga. Okay, then goal per competitions in the each competition, how many goal he do. In the La Liga, he do 311 goals, and club is Real Madrid. Then goal per seasons, in the season from the 9 to 18, I think, yeah, 18, he play in the Real Madrid and he do this kind of goal. And the best goal in the Real Madrid should be in the season 14 to 15 is nothing but 61 goal in just in Real Madrid. And Real Madrid same thing for 11 and 12, he do the 16 goal, right? And same thing for the Manchester United, he goal 42 goals in 07 to 08. Then in the club, in the goal per club, he do so many goals in the club season as well. He do in the Real Madrid 44 goals in the season of 70 to 18. Okay, per club. Okay, per club. How many goal he do? And in the Real Madrid, he do most of the goal in here in his life. Okay, and inside that, in the competitions, we see in the Real Madrid, he do the 3-1 on goals. Okay, you can see there is all of the leagues, just like La Liga Portugal. We have the Premier League. Okay, UEFA Champions League. Okay, Copa del Rey. Then you can see Super Copa, right? Series A. All of the things you can see here. FIFA Cup, Club World Cup. Then you have the goals per playing positions, in the which position he playing here, and in the position of the LW he counting, he do the 310 goals. Most of the goal he do that. And favorite opponent is nothing but the, I hope so, Silbelia FC. Then assist is the top 10, not top, actually top assist is nothing but Karim Benzema. Then the goal per Beru is nothing but the home is the most cool and the away is quite low. Okay, that's it about for this EDA about the EU or Cristiano Ronaldo. So that's it for today now, and hope you enjoy this tutorial. And make sure to subscribe to the channel and don't forget to hit the bell icon. And I'll be back with the other tutorial. So till then, take care and bye bye.